Welcome to Commercial Real Estate Investing. I am Tim Diesel, and today we're going to cover the basics of industrial property. And as always, if you guys have more questions, you can check us out online, www.dieselcommercial.com, to get all your questions answered. So my goal here is to give you a general outline of how industrial properties differ from other commercial properties. So I don't want to make this super long because I know everyone will be lost and bored, but I'll go over the basics just to give you a general concept of how things go. So financing, basically the operation, how these properties are leased out. I'll just touch over those topics. So let's go over different types of buildings that are considered to be industrial and the basic functions. So the first one is manufacturing. Another one you have is warehouse space, general warehouse space, distribution centers, flex office, where it's office in the front, warehouse in the back. You might come across R&D buildings, storage units. All these are industrial properties, and each of these buildings will have slightly different requirements for every user, right? So sometimes you may have a ceiling height issue for some users. They want it to be so many feet high. And other times I've seen the depth of the concrete. They've got heavy machinery going through there. They want the concrete a certain depth. Maybe you have super equipment, I don't know, heavy duty equipment going back and forth, and it's going to destroy the pavement. I've also come across electrical has to be up to a certain standard. So maybe a warehouse building doesn't have enough electrical juice or the certain requirements that are there. The building has to be a certain size in most cases. So if you notice, there's not a lot of warehouse buildings that are 1,000 square feet. Most of the time, these are large. So large buildings, they're not really within city limits most of the time. And what I mean by that is they're not going to be on a busy road. They're going to be kind of off a little bit in their own little industrial park or zone, right? You're not going to find them as you're going to the grocery store in most cases. These things are kind of off the beaten path, so to speak. So the other thing that I've found is, so let's talk about leasing for a quick second. If you lose a tenant, generally it's not as easy to fill the space right up, right? So if you have a big company like FedEx shipping, and they are using the building for distribution and their lease runs out, maybe they decide they want to leave for whatever reason. The issue is there aren't too many companies that really need that space and that can fill up that space. So that's a real big disadvantage. So be prepared for that, because it could be a challenge for you. You will find that the dollar per square foot generally is a lot less, right? Because of the size. So you're not going to get a $15 lease in industrial usually. Nothing like retail. It's going to be a little bit different because they're occupying so much space. Another thing is industrial property is usually leased out to one tenant, maybe two. Not often will you come across multiple companies using warehouse space. Maybe what I have seen is flex space. It'll be one company in the front of the office, and they work with the warehouse shipping company in the back. So they'll use that. So that'll be two separate companies, and everyone's responsible for their own thing, their own electric or bills, or however they do a tenant lease with the owner, because they might not have enough cash to own the building. And that could be something, but that's not very common. I've only seen that once or twice. Most leases 5 to 15 years, depending on the building size, of course. I've seen longer, I've seen shorter. Most investors that buy these buildings they want to buy them with 15 years or 10 years remaining on the lease. The problem is a lot of these investors, once there's a year or two left on a lease, they're going to try to sell it. And that puts you in a disadvantage because now you got to find an investor who wants that property. Maybe he can renegotiate the term of the lease to keep the tenant in there longer. Maybe he can't. So that could be kind of an issue. And lastly, financing is much different on these properties because the bank is underwriting the tenant, not really not underwriting you so much, and the value of the building is kind of what the tenant in there is paying, right? Not so much like a retail building or a multifamily property. They will look at you a little bit, but on warehouse, if there's one tenant in there and they have an 8 or 9 year lease, that's what they're underwriting. They're really looking at the how strong that tenant is. Now, if you're an owner user and you want to buy a warehouse space and it's a vacant building, what the bank will do is they'll look at your financials for the last couple of years and they'll kind of see how you've operated before they finance the building, based on your business financials, of course. Now, unless you're getting a great deal, though, you do not just go into vacant industrial buildings. If you're an owner-user, that's one thing. But if you're just trying to buy it and you're going to try to fill up the tenant base in there, that's generally kind of risky. You want to be a little more experienced, and you want to have kind of a network or a database of people you can tap into. So that is kind of the basics of industrial properties. And, of course, I'll dive deeper into it in the coming months and coming episodes and give you a little more fine-tuning. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and you got something new from it. I'm at Tim J. Diesel just about everywhere. You can go to timdiesel.com, download your free commercial real estate investing blueprint. Make sure you do that before you invest in anything. You can also check me out on YouTube. I cover different topics on there, and I answer all kinds of questions. If you have any questions for me or you want me to do something for you, like a special episode, definitely let me know, and I'll take care of it for you. Thank you guys for listening.